Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Gainer Gossip. I am Pluto, and with me, as always, is.
I'm Jenny.
But today we have on my friend Amber, who's going to come on here and talk about all things tabletops, just some their general interests, some stuff they have coming up, etc., etc. Amber, why don't you go ahead and give a quick intro, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. This is really exciting. A little spouse duo podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to
Um
keep a nice
We're
little
happy to have
chill
you.
thing we're trying to do.
Yeah, but hi everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber, anywhere there's internet. So, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, Twitch, all of the T's that are popular on social media right now. I'm a TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, streamer. I do everything. And I am, I guess, in terms of like current projects I'm working on. I don't know when this is airing, but I'm on City of Mist that is currently being DM'd by Pluto. But I'm also starting January 7th. My Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle DuPont Underground is going to start airing on Girls Run These Worlds at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is a completely bespoke chronicle based in Washington, D.C., where I'm located. And I'm really excited to have my first like long form like show. So I'm really excited. I love vampire, and I am also ready to kill Mitch McConnell in a tabletop game and not in real life. Don't come after me, CIA.
Yeah, Vampire can be really fun. We did it recently on my channel in Boston, I believe, for
Yeah.
a decent amount
Mm,
of episodes. And then I think timeline wise, I think this airs the week before our finale at City of Mist.
okay,
Yeah.
So
sick.
like
Those
right before that, which is gonna be, I still don't know how these last two episodes are gonna end, but that should be fun when we get there.
It, hell yeah, that's the beauty of GMing, baby. You don't
Yeah,
know.
I got a lot of plot points to wrap up in two episodes. It'll be fine.
I
you
feel
got
bad
it.
because my being sick is what caused us to like cancel that last episode.
No, it's all good. I think I can smush it all together and make it wrap up before we start your project, which I don't think we can talk about yet in February on there. So,
Oh yeah. I'm excited.
okay, let's dive into some questions.
Yeah.
Generally, got you into like not necessarily like the online tabletop stuff, but just like playing any like kind of tabletop games in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got my start like um hold on. Okay, yeah, I had to get the timeline right. I got my start about 10 years ago, actually. Um, in college, I was a member of the Science Fiction Fantasy Guild at my university,
Hmm.
and
Nice.
someone, yeah, and so I was like, I was approached by someone who was like, "Oh yeah, I found this like Pokemon tabletop game,
Oh, that sounds sick.
do you want to play?" And I was like, yeah, I don't know what tabletop games are, but sure, let's go for it. Um, and so we played, it was the the Pokemon system that's based off D&D 5. I mean, no, not 5, 3.5. Um, and it's real weird and crunchy.
Yeah, I saw a newer one that's out. I was looking at a couple because I want to run Pokemon at some point too. But yeah, I think I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's like if you look it up, it's like Pokemon Tabletop and it hasn't been updated since like 2013 or something.
Mm.
Like but yeah, so we were like Team Rocket trying to revive or like a group of folks trying to revive Team Rocket as the good guys because Silphco was trying to take over Kanto,
Hmm.
all of that. But that table unfortunately ended in disaster. Um
Oh no.
well, it's actually very serious reason why I left that table for safety reasons.
Hmm.
Um and we're just gonna veil that.
Yeah, that's
Right.
valid.
um and so I left that table and I left that club because of reasons. But yeah, so like after that I was like, I don't want to hang around tabletop people if they're all gonna
Hmm.
not be safe around women. And then I really got back into it in 2017. I had a coworker at Geico who was like, when I was working at corporate, and they were like, "Hey, we're putting together this like weekend of D&D or whatever. We're just gonna hang out, like eat latkes or whatever for a holiday one shot. Like, do you want to come play?" And I was like, "I haven't played D&D ever," and but yeah, sure. You'll have to teach me, but sure. And like it just hasn't stopped from there. Like it's been constant since 2017. And so yeah, like I joined my local adventures league and then started like, a campaign like, you know, it would be like my highlight of the week to like finish work and then be like, "Oh, I'm my little wizard." So
I love that.
yeah, it was really good. And then pandemic happened. um
I
yeah, I
think.
guess actually I can go on. Like pandemic happened
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, I suddenly have more time for tabletop. Great. This is my special interest now." And so I started a Discord server for me and like my high school and college friends who like, were playing D&D together and like, like let's try other systems or whatever. And it exploded. And now I think
Nice.
we're at something like 350 members of that Discord server.
Holy shit.
Um
That's
yeah.
incredible.
It's a
That's really
lot.
good. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really talk about it ever.
You
That's awesome,
should. That's
though.
something to be proud of. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we have that Discord server, One Shot Club, and we play all sorts of games, and that's really what solidified like that.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
that's fair. Yeah, I
Nice.
think I got into tabletop like literally right before COVID. Like I
Oof.
got into
Yeah,
it.
you did.
I don't know how. I got like into it like I think I was YouTube searching something and got like into a video where Terry Crews was playing like a one shot on the old Geek and Sundry
Oh,
channel. And I was like,
yeah.
what the
Yeah.
hell is this shit? And then it just steamrolled into that and then finding Dimension 20 and then wanting to play it from that. But then
And then they had us both join a group.
yeah, and then there was like I found a Westmart server like that I fell deeply into for quite a while. And then like 3 months in, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna offer extra characters to people who want to GM." And then I did that, and I've never not DM since.
It was history after that.
Yeah, and then just like
Oh,
recently, when all the Satine stuff came out, and I found Initiative Order, then it's like, oh, there's a million more systems besides D&D. So let me run every single system I can look at.
oh my God. Wait, so you're
Nice.
that new to everything but D&D?
Yes, D&D only outside of
Yeah,
D&D
he's
only started when I went to Initiative Order. Besides that, I have not played anything
Holy
besides D&D
shit.
until then. And now I've ran like City of Mist, I've ran Thirsty
Yeah.
Sword Lesbians, I've ran like so many other different systems. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I
holy
love
shit.
their face right now. Like their face is so in shock when you said that, babe.
I think it's because
Amber's like, what?
I mean I'm running a long campaign for them and a bunch of other people, so like you wouldn't
Yeah.
know that otherwise because I dive into systems so much when I read them that I
Yeah.
don't think it's easy to tell that I'm new to systems a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool how
Okay.
you both like gained your passion for that. Like I loved hearing that. How you gave your passion, Amber, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it was I had a really rocky start and I was really like for like 5 years, I was like anybody who touches tabletop gaming is, pervasive, it's like,
Yeah.
pervade yeah, and I that was also my peak Tumblr days too.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
Those
Yeah.
Tumblr kids
Tumblr
are really
days.
exhausting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just feel like
I know. I was on
I just
Tumblr.
feel like unfortunately like tabletop games do bring in an aspect where people can be toxic very easily, so it's
Yeah.
hard to watch out for that at points. Like the
Yeah.
reason I left the one West March and me and my friends started our own is because it got to the point where the only people constantly playing were the very toxic people in the group.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
two of the main people that were playing were ones that I literally got into like a drag out fight with in the DM chat because they were also DMs because they had so many criticisms of a mission where they almost died. It's like you
Oh my
almost
God.
died because your players charge into a damn combat without like assessing a situation. The one dude tried choking out a mind flayer. I'm like,
Oh my
you
God.
choking out a mind flayer with a low
You
intelligence
can't do that
character with a
shit.
low intelligence character. Know when as a DM that their save and throws for their grapple paralyzed thing is intelligence, and then you're gonna complain about it afterwards.
Right. Oh my
Like,
Yeah.
God. And Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely not. Like there's a I am very protective of my tables for a reason
Hmm.
and like the type of people that I invite to my tables. So,
Yeah,
That's
God,
good
I'm so
though.
sorry.
I'm glad that Initiative Order has Nate and stuff to help out feed that through. But I'm also, now that I'm trying to like run longer games on my channel, like I have a
Hmm.
start. Will the Starfinder game have started when this airs? It'll be starting the Sunday after this airs. So yeah,
Oh,
the
sick.
Starfinder campaign that I'm be running, like I'm trying to vet as much as I possibly can through this whole process because I want to bring more people on, but bringing new people into the space is just like it's always an
Yeah.
iffiness to it. So
No, I feel that. But Jenny, if you don't mind me asking, what have you played? How long have you been into the hobby?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't play much, but when I do, I love what I love about it is it's kind of like acting, right? Like you get
Yes.
to like create your own character. You get to, have
Hmm.
like who they are. Like like for instance, I played a guy character. That was the most fun I've ever had. I'd
Hmm.
rather play a guy character honestly than a girl character. And he was very rich and pretentious. His name was Thomas, and I based him off of one of my favorite characters on a TV show, but it's so fun to just like get embraced in that world. So I played a couple games with them with Pluto. As in like, I played the Vampire the Masquerade, I played D&D. That's for tabletop, that's about it. Those two, D&D and Vampire the Masquerade. I love Vampire the Masquerade because I love vampires. So I
yeah,
love
I
Same.
it.
got them into. They were in my first
Yes.
stream on my Twitch, and we did a medieval game. And they're like, "Oh, I want to build a big family," and they like have all these siblings because everyone had a chance to be a royalty if they wanted. So she was like I want to say like was it the fourth or fifth child of the Duke, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thomas was.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
sick.
I knew I finally got her invested in a character because we had a big medieval tournament, and I killed the majority of the people in the stands at the
They
end of the
did.
tournament,
Yes. I was
including
literally
like the
crying.
majority of
I
her
was
family,
traumatized.
except for her one. She had two dads. So I killed, except the one dad who wasn't the Duke. Her
Mm-hmm.
sister and her youngest brother were the only three that survived out of her eight siblings, except for the sibling who
Oh my
was the one
God.
who orchestrated this, like part of the bad
Yeah.
guys doing this. And her face fell so hard. I was like, "Fuck! I got
Yeah.
her in it. I got her into it."
Yeah, they did because I was before that, I played a couple games, but I
Hmm.
never like have cried like that. Like that legit made me cry because I felt like it was my dad.
I
Like
legit
they
Hmm.
thought I was gonna be sleeping on the couch that
yeah.
night.
Yeah,
Oh,
like they had
uh,
this whole scene where like they had this interaction where my character and the dad finally like got along, came to closure with
I
each
did
other,
that right on
and
purpose.
then
Right before that, I get that
yeah,
closure.
and
So
then they killed him. I was like,
yeah.
what?
yeah, she was like, we have a very antagonistic relationship with the oldest dad because I kind of do what I want to
That was
do. I joined
brutal.
the Adventure Guild. I'm not like in royalties. So I'm not the first or even the second or third son. I was like, okay, I can roll with that. And then like at the party before the tournament, I was like, oh, your dad was supposed to talk to you for a little bit, and played
Mm-hmm.
out like it was like a 20-minute scene where you guys reconciled, and then at the
Yeah.
end of that episode, I killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man. Shit. Oh,
Yeah. I will say though, just to kind of wrap up that question that you gave me, Amber, and I appreciate that because
yeah.
I'm not like I'm not as good as you guys are at it, but I do play sometimes. So I still
I mean,
enjoy it because I love it. It's like
there's
acting,
no good or bad at it. It's
Um,
just being invested and playing with the table that you're at. I mean, honestly, as long
yeah,
as you're investing in your character and having fun, that's literally all you need to do.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Mood.
Um,
Like, yeah. I could go on about how like I actually love the AP space because it itches like it scratches that acting itch that
Hmm.
I haven't felt in a long time. And yeah,
Yeah, it's fun.
you're like,
It's
that's
fun because
it.
everyone starts out playing characters that are like very much like them to a T, and then slowly like exploring different aspects of themselves. Like my first character was literally just a smarter androgynous version of myself. It was like not much different at all. And then it went from him to like an asexual non-binary character, and then a fuckboy
Nice.
dragonborn. It was just like
Listen,
slowly down
Different
the line
roles.
of different
the
roles.
tabletop to non-binary pipeline is like much shorter than you think it is.
Yeah,
It's
I've seen that. I feel like if I didn't start playing tabletop, I would probably wouldn't have figured that out. But like, I feel like when you're just
fucking mood.
because you don't want to play like a straight cis male all the time. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to explore the character. I haven't even.
Boring as
I
hell.
can't even remember the last time I played a masculine character in a tabletop game recently, even. And it's just
I
like you're exploring such different genders. Like even you, babe, for like being a cis bi female, like you are not masculine in any regards, but the last like couple
yeah.
characters you played have been very masculine, like fuckboy
Well,
characters.
yeah, because
I'm just
it's
waiting for
way
that
more
egg to
fun.
crack.
It's
Right?
way more fun to me. Like even like with like acting, I've always loved playing different roles. Like I love playing like like a guy role. My characters. I love playing the girl. It's just fun, like you guys said.
Yeah.
It's just really fun. And babe, I know you're asking Amber. You're asking them the questions, but can I ask Amber just one question?
Yeah.
Because it ties
This
into
is
Hell
this
yeah.
is very freeform. The questions I have are just topic
Okay.
points. We probably won't even get to them all, honestly. We're just trying
See, I
to
had like 12 questions for my guests. Like,
we haven't got through one list of questions yet. This is our
With
second
Laney, we
episode,
almost
but this
did.
is like our third recorded one, and it's like we're not getting through the most of the questions, but that's fine.
Hey,
Yeah.
my other plans tonight were watch Taskmaster with my spouse. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
after this, I'm jumping on Pokemon and doing some
Oh,
trades with a friend. So
ooh, fuck yeah.
But yeah, my question was, well, I cannot talk. Sorry, guys. My question
valid.
was, it's kind of a question, kind of not. Also, so the statement part is, I used to live in LA with my old roommate Lance, and he got me super into like different things. We never discussed D&D. I didn't know much about that or anything, but we did used to watch on YouTube, like tabletop games with Will Wheaton. So never played him before, but I used to watch him. And my question was if you've ever seen those, because we used to watch Will Wheaton's YouTube channel,
Okay.
like religiously. Like we would watch him play all these tabletop games, and it was so fun. And I don't know. I just had a question if you ever saw it, because it was really fun. And then we saw like he got me into like the Guild, which is another show.
Oh,
and
oh my
yeah, let's see. You know what I'm
I
talking
see.
about.
I haven't seen that
They
one.
didn't know
I
what I was
actually don't
talking
know
about
that.
when I
No.
asked them.
I so I don't know why I can't look at Will Wheaton and not think like fucking his character in Star Trek. Fucking I can't.
Oh,
Yep, I know. Yep.
So I look at him and I feel annoyed. I'm like, crush her. But but
Nice.
no, I actually really his was not, it wasn't Geek and Sundry. It's something else that I
He
can't
has
remember.
his he has it's a
Oh.
different channel that he did.
But I did watch Geek and Sundry. I know what that is, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually like never into Geek and Sundry. I was never
I
really
wasn't really
into,
either.
Will Wheaton's. I was still am like a big Dimension 20 fan. I just was,
I started Never After
That's what they
tonight
love too.
and got like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm not focusing on this. I'm getting ready for the thing. I'm just gonna watch this whole thing later because they're in a big battle and I want to focus on it for once.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Girls Run These Worlds actually beat 2 Dimension 20 shows for TTRPG Campaign of the Year. So, and I'm just
That is
saying,
amazing.
yeah, we fucking crushed it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so for the Game Hers Awards, let me specify, for the Game Hers Awards.
Mhm.
So, I'm a Game Hers award winning GM. Anyway,
Yes. I'm just like, yes.
but no, like what really got me started was like I remember watching The Guild in college. I like it
So
back
good.
when it was on YouTube.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
that's where I watched it.
I was a religious Vlogbrothers fan. I watched
Nice.
Vlogbrothers every day for like from like start of college all the way through I think like the year I moved out of my parents' house, which
That's
was probably about
awesome.
5 years.
Nice.
So
That's
it was
awesome.
yeah. So yeah, that was my like internet nerddom content.
I love that though. I love that. That's really
Yeah, I
cool.
was surprised it took me so long to get into tabletop. I've always been like my go-to games are story-driven video games like Mass Effect. I will live and die with that game forever.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age and like Skyrim, like all those type of RPG games. I'm the person that will like dive into a game, hit every single plot point possible in the
Same.
game. So like it's really weird that I never got into it. But
Maybe
now
you
it's just
just never
like
knew about it.
now it's like I do so much of that stuff when I do play video games. I don't have time to just sit there and play those type of video games anymore. My brain
Well,
power is
like,
just not there. I need something simple. Like I'm geeked as fuck for Hades too. Like I can sit there and
so
play
my
that.
God, same.
Or even Diablo 4, like simple mindless games with a little bit of story I can do. Like even Destiny lately, like there's story, but it's like so much just grinding shit out and just shooting stuff and fighting over like actually
Yeah.
having to make RP choices, which I can't.
The
Diablo's
new
No.
fun.
Pokemon, like the new Pokemon's actually challenging.
Oh, it
And like
is.
I have to actually grind
You
and like
have to,
do
especially for
yeah.
raid battles. When you get to 5 star and
Yeah.
up, you have to. You can't just go in there with even if it's the type advantage with the Terra type. You have to grind. I just finished EV
Yeah.
training. I caught all 4 of the sealed legendaries the other night, and I EV trained the little
Oh,
snow leopard one because it's badass, and I EV trained my Iron Valiant because it just
That's
screams
awesome.
non-binary to me. It looks like the
I'm not
female
there yet.
version of the male evolution of the Ralts line, but it's like a robot. So it's like
Oh,
that's
sick.
the most non-binary Pokemon I've ever seen.
That's
I
cool.
I don't know what the sealed legendaries are. I imagine they're the things
It's
behind.
pretty far into the
Yeah.
game. After you beat like all the story stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't done that yet
yeah,
because I've been too
you have
sick.
to go around and actually you have to talk you did the history class all the way finished. You have to talk to the history professor like multiple times till he tells you about
Yeah.
them, and then you have to go around and find like these states and drive them out of the ground and to unlock them. It takes a while,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's
Oh
4 of them.
wow.
Yeah, I've been like pulling up the stakes as I've seen them, and I'm just like, all right, cool, this is the thing. I understand that this like is related to these doors I keep seeing around, but I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck they're about. So, yeah, I like went through yesterday and like did all the classes that I had
Hmm.
outstanding because I was like, oh yeah, I guess I need to go to school.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
actually student in this. We actually do have to take classes. I didn't totally just blitz through them all after I beat the Elite Four. I just sat there for like an hour or two outside in real life, just going through the classes.
Hell yeah, fucking
I'm trying.
same.
I'm trying to get him to play my one game, but
I'm not playing
they
Disney
don't think they
Dreamlight.
would like it.
I
They
really
don't think they
don't.
would like
It's
it.
too much crafting for me. I can't do
What is
this.
it?
It's Disney
Um.
Dreamlight.
So
I want to play Disney Dreamlight.
it's
I
so
want
much
to.
fun. You need to. You need to.
It's
It's
on
so much
my.
fun.
We have it on Xbox because it was on Game Pass.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, that's what.
that's how
Yeah.
she has it too. Yeah.
yeah, so okay, yeah. Sorry. I need to play it, but I told myself I need to like I went through like during a very big depressive era last year
Hmm.
and bought too many games that I haven't touched. And so I told myself I need to finish like one game before I start another. So I need to
Yeah,
finish.
I don't blame you on
Yeah,
that.
I leave so many
Yeah.
games open. I'm surprised I've
I
been in depth with Pokemon this time. I didn't get nearly this far in Shield, the last one that came out. Like I couldn't even do the
It
DLC. It didn't do a lot of the end game stuff after the story.
yeah.
it scratches like all of my JRPG itches. Like
Hmm.
with like Final Fantasy 15, I can sit down and just like lose my shit in Final Fantasy 15 forever. Um anyway, I love
Yeah.
open world games. I need to
Yeah.
complete them
Yeah,
all.
I have so
That's how I am
I have
too.
a group from TIO. We just started playing Elder Scrolls Online as a group.
Oh,
Briefly got into it, but we haven't got like a full like session yet. But yeah, I'm trying to get into that at least because playing that alone is just so boring. But
well,
Yeah.
no. You're thinking of 14. I said 15. That's the one where you're driving in the car and you got all you and all your little wet boys driving around in your car with you.
yeah, I know what you're
And
talking about. I meant like
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
I meant Elder Scrolls Online as opposed to Final
Oh
Fantasy
yeah.
14. I played that a little bit too, but I couldn't do all the stuff on 14. It was too much.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
the
I
reason
haven't played 14.
the reason I love Disney Dreamlight is because it's kind of like that game, like you were saying, very open world game. Because it's a
Mhm.
lot of sense, like you were showing me the Pokemon game, babe. It's a lot of sense like that. Like there's certain characters unlocked, you have to do missions, and it's kind of like a mix of like Sims and Animal Crossing a little
Yeah,
bit.
and
Like
Stardew Valley, I
Yeah,
heard
it's
it's really
very
fun.
Stardew
yeah,
Valley-ish, which I couldn't get
yeah,
into.
it's
Oh,
really
see,
fun.
I'm a
It's
slut
really
for
I
Stardew.
can never get into games that have like a really heavy crafting mechanic into it. it just doesn't scratch an itch
See,
for me
I
at
Imagine
like
all.
being
that.
wrong. I could
Yeah.
never imagine being wrong like that.
Right? And like I crafted my whole village, like I have my whole town, Remy's restaurant, like and it's really cool.
Oh,
I love Remy. He's so cute. I'm a big Disney fan, if you can't
It's
tell.
okay.
So
Yeah, it's all good. You're valid. You're very valid.
See, they understand, babe.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get into another question. Let me see what I got
What
here.
question are you
Yeah.
on?
Two.
Oh.
Okay,
I have
so
ADHD.
it's okay. I literally have that's a topic on my list because I know we both have really bad ADHD, so it's okay. Um, so my next question is: so we talked a little about how you got into tabletop in general. How did
Yeah.
you parlay that then into like the streaming and like the I guess the Twitter community and just like that whole community of
Yeah.
people and actually playing like actual plays and running actual plays?
Purely by accident. Like, and I think that's well, no, I think that's like the through line that you'll hear a lot in the community. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you'll hear very often people say, like, yeah, this is what I set out to do. But like, like I said earlier, I started this Discord server that was really, again, just me and wanting to connect with the people I knew in real life
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, hey, we have like it's the we've got all this time now and we don't know how long this is going to be. um and so from there, people were like inviting their friends and inviting their friends, and the server was being posted on Reddit and all that. So yeah, from there, I started, like, as I was learning more and more games, I wanted to like connect with like the creators of the games more. So I like joined, well, like I had a Twitter back in the day from like when I had a book blog.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I just like revamped it, right? Like I renamed it and um, you know, uh like unfollowed all of the book people that I was following, and then
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, let's start with like following these accounts, whatever. And I so I how do I say this like delicately? I had a very severe mental health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Um July of 2021.
Okay.
And to the point where I was hospitalized. I'm okay. And I was okay.
I'm glad you're
Um
okay.
thank you. Yeah. And so like I remember, I was like, maybe 100, 200 followers at the time, but I remember like not being really invested in the community, but like, I had like a couple followers I was like talking to and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming out of the hospital and like, tweeting into my void like, hey, sorry I was quiet all weekend. I was in the hospital, but I'm fine. And like I remember from there, Matt from Abyssal Brews like had just started following me,
Mm-hmm.
and I had no idea that somebody of that size would follow me. But um like I remember him specifically like replying like, hey, I was worried about you because you were quiet. Like, I'm glad to hear you're okay. Like, please, like, don't hesitate to reach out. And like I think that was like the first indication that like I should start reaching out to people more. And then not too long after that, or maybe around the same time, I'll that mental health block made things a little fuzzy in the timeline. But
Yeah.
around the same time, like role playing were like casting for this like Pride Month one shot, and so I got cast into that for their podcast. And that was really cool. That was like my first ever thing. I got to be on role playing. What? Who? Me? um and then after that, like I was on a channel I will not shout out because I do not fuck with them anymore, but
Yeah, I think I
they're
know who you're
I
talking about. I think I've seen it. So
uh there are several channels that I do not fuck with anymore, but I'm gonna have them remain nameless
that's
for
also fair.
yeah.
Right.
But I was on a four shot at a particular um yeah, a particular channel that still exists, unfortunately. But
Mm-hmm.
um um but and that was like my first stream, and then from there I was like, okay, actually, yeah, we can turn something of this. And like, and from there, like I started connecting to people and being like alumni from that like stream being like, hey, these people sucked, like let's like do something together elsewhere at a different
Mm-hmm.
stream team. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, it just really like catapulted from there. And I remember, yeah, I mean, like from like really those are like the three main touch points that I feel like really established me. Like or yeah, and it, you know, from here it's just really great to see, like, you know, people that I've come up with in the space over the last year and a half also
Hmm.
flourishing and having like wonderful like communities growing, and like seeing people like actually treat where their communities with intention, and like, you know, realize where people, you know, there's going to be, you know, stream teams with red flags abounding, and you know, give people warnings like, hey, they don't treat trans people well, hey, they dead name people a lot, hey, they're really misogynistic, you know. So, you know,
Yeah.
really creating like a culture of like, again, safe tables where people can be
Yeah.
themselves fruitfully without fear of persecution. um and yeah, there we go.
I think that I think
Conclusions.
that fits a lot with what I've seen too, because like before I joined TIO, which is where I've been streaming, like that's when my streaming and even my Twitter like started being more active than it was in the past for tabletop. Like I had the one game that I ran with Jenny and a couple other people on Sateen's channel before all that mess came out, and then that parlayed into, yeah, I never had any. It was weird because I never had any bad experiences with her. So like when everything came out, it really sidewinded me a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but I ran
And
on.
I didn't really know her like
Yeah,
that. I only talked to her like once, but
me and two of my other friends were playing in a monthly game, but we paid to play in on Patreon like for a while before that happened, and it was fine. I mean, we were paying her, so that's probably why we didn't see that side of that whole situation. But
facts.
I parlayed that into like trying to run on my own channel, which I did the last week campaign and everything. And then like the week that everything came out,
You were supposed to meet up with
I
her,
was
like me
supposed to
and
meet
you.
her that
Yeah.
Friday.
Shut the fuck up. I had to
Yeah,
unmute myself. Shut the fuck
I
up. Holy
she
shit.
was here for Origin Fair in
Yeah.
Columbus. And everything came out
That's
that,
right.
yeah, everything came out that Wednesday. I was supposed to meet her Friday, and when it came out Wednesday, it was
Yeah.
mostly centered around him at first. So I was like, I reached out to her, like, oh, don't know what's going on. Are you okay? Da 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 da. And then Thursday, woke up and like all this shit about her is out too, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? So like I'm like this close to meeting her, like trying to like I was even posting, like I was even talking about me going to their like famous house now that they have and playing in a
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
action thing in her place.
And I thought it was cool because I was like
Yeah,
in the time.
apparently that house is
Yeah.
a cold house, but I'm not gonna go into all that. But
Oh my god.
yeah,
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
You
and
dodged a
then
bullet.
yeah, I got out of the situation, was talking to people, talking to producers, and one of the producers from her old channel that left, like Ghost, invited me to TIO. But then like at which was good because like I was like, oh, I'm gonna start networking this week and getting more into the tabletop community on Twitter so I can start like doing more stuff because like you said, once you get on Twitter and like you slowly start like just reaching out to the people in the community and like getting to know people's stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were probably about the size I am now last year when you started, and then you grew to like over like what 10 or like six
I'm
seven
not at
k
10
on
yet.
Twitter.
I'm just below.
You're just
I am
below
just
10.
below
That's
7K.
amazing.
That's still a lot for like a year. That's insane.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, part of it is I am a professional social media person.
That is
Like
also
this
fair.
is what I do
See,
professionally.
I don't do that
But
professionally, but she does.
That's
So
what.
I
Yeah.
have her to help me out a little bit on that
And I try
aspect.
to. Yeah. I try to help him too. Like.
It's like the what you have to do in this community is just keep like getting out there and playing games and running games with different people. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's I don't want to say it's a numbers game because I don't think ultimately it's a numbers game, it's a
hmm
trust game.
yeah,
Yeah.
And like if you, I mean, truly, if you're an asshole, it'll get out.
yeah. It's a tight
Yeah.
community. It's a very tight
It is.
Yeah.
community. But I think some people joining in like only look at like the Matt Mercers and the Brennans and the B Daves and they're like, I can't get to that level. No, it's like no, I like I
Don't be
already
B Dave.
I even now know
Don't
people
be
that play
Brennan.
with
Be
them. Be
you.
yourself and
Yeah.
like sure you might share a table with them one day, but like just
Yeah.
play games and get to know people and have fun. Like that's
Well,
the aspect of all of it at the end of the day.
yeah. And I love that you said that because like it's like that with TikTok too. Like yeah, like with TikTok, what I love about TikTok, what I love more than anything, like I don't think about the numbers or anything. What I really love more than anything is I've met really genuine acting friends on there, and you kind of like don't mean to grow, but you grow when you duet with other people, kind of like how you guys are genuine
Yeah.
people too. And you do games with other people, you grow. It's like it happens because other people see your videos with that person and that person. It's kind of like, but you want to do work with people you truly care about, and like not toxic people, like and that's why what I love about TikTok so much is like I've made a group of like genuine acting friends like myself who like really care about people, and we really support each other. And it's like that's how you grow, is showing that you're a genuine person. Because like you said, if you're an asshole, people are gonna see that,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna want to work with you or do content with you.
Oh,
and
for sure.
But that's how this field is, like with tabletop and even in acting. That's why I'm mentioning the acting thing. It's like it's all about connecting with other people and thinking about others too, not just yourself.
I know. That's like one of the biggest things I want to do next year, especially now that I have this new job and can afford to, is I want to go to as many cons as I can next year and like actually meet people face to face and run and playing games with people that I've only talked to online. I've still not run it. I guess technically I run the home game for you and your friends, babe, but they're not like, that table's not like super into the game itself, but like I just want to run a game in person with people for once, like an actual in-game, in real life game.
You can run that one in person with.
Yeah, but it's you and Lennon are talking the whole time to each other, catching up.
Yeah.
And then her husband's just being kind of murder hobo-y.
He loves D&D, actually.
He loves the combat of D&D.
Yeah.
Because we tried Vampire the Masquerade and he did not like that game, and I had to add in the additional combat rules from the back of the book that I've never looked at before to make it help.
Yeah.
So,
oh man.
So that game's fun, but like I'm pretty much just running them through Grim Fairy Tales now because I'm not thinking anything like super plot heavy. I'm just like recycling shit from it's pretty much what Brendan's doing now in D20 with Never After. I was already doing for this whole game with Dark Fairy Tales. So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm literally reapplying lip balm. Please.
No, you're good.
I love you already. But no, what I was gonna say is that's so true though. Sorry, I think what you guys said too. It's so true about like what you were saying, like for instance, there's big actors on TikTok who I look up to, but it's like don't be them, just be yourself. And people will see you, like how you guys said, like maybe you'll play one day with B-Day. Maybe one day I'll do it with Noah J. Wood, who's like huge on TikTok, and I like his personality, but it's like you can't focus on that. You can't compare, and you have to know your journey is your journey, and just enjoy where you're at in your journey and love what you do. Because if you love what you do, it's not that's literally the only thing that matters. Like if you're not loving what you do, it's not important. But like what you're doing, think about like what you're doing is so important too. Like you having 7,000 something followers, Amber, like that's amazing because you're touching all those people. Like you don't realize how many people you are actually touching and impacting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like I think I actually got, it's so weird because I think of myself as just like, I'm just some guy, I'm just some dude, in my like 6 square feet in my apartment. But like I went to PAX Unplugged a couple weeks ago, and which I still need to follow up with some emails. Holy shit. I need to do that tomorrow now that I'm not sick. Anyway, so I went to PAX Unplugged a couple weeks ago, and like it was amazing to see like people that I've developed friendships and relationships with over the past like year and a half and be like, you're a real person I can hug. But also there was like several instances where people would be like, are you the Space Jamber? Are you the Space Jamber? And I was like, bitch? What? Me? Me?
That's totally gonna be my reaction when I meet you. Like, oh my god, it's the Space Jammer! Holy shit!
Punch you. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
I'm gonna wait till I see you like in the middle of a con floor and just call out across the floor.
Well, I remember one, I was like literally running from like one interview to another because apparently that's the thing people want to do is interview me, and I don't get it. But so
that's why you're here today.
Yeah, I know. But so like I was running from one interview to another, and like I felt my phone vibrate, and like as I was like hustling up the stairs, I like checked, and it was a message from someone that was like, "Hey, I think I just saw you like run past the Cobalt Press booth. Are you okay?" And I was like.
And it's like it's a real feeling. You're like, people know who I am. They know me. Like,
I don't want you to know who I am. I don't want you to know I'm actually 5'3". What the fuck?
Wait, can I just say that we must have the same taste, because I literally, the gaming chair that you're using is the one I was literally going to buy a couple months ago.
I have influenced 3 people to buy this chair.
I love it. It looks so pretty online.
It's very comfy.
Yeah, and I love the colors.
I need to get a new chair. Mine's rough. It's already starting to
Yeah, I need a new chair too.
rip up a little bit.
I bought this like a year ago when I still had money and didn't spend all my savings trying to survive during my unemployment. So, it's like the last big
No,
luxury
I get that.
have.
That's like the biggest thing about the new job is like I'm like, oh, I can pay our wedding off and like catch up on all our bills and start actually spending money on myself. It's gonna be so nice.
I can actually pay rent again.
Hey, look, I was actually gonna get it, not because I could afford it. On Afterpay, it's an amazing tool. You can make 4 payments, and so I feel you on the money thing. And that's another reason why, again, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'll have to look at the podcast. I'm trying to get another job because, like, at
just
the end of the day,
your job that you have a podcast.
Hopefully by then I'll have another job. Let's manifest that energy out there. But it's just like, at the end of the, oh no, I won't tell my job, don't worry. At the end of the day, like, I just, it's like, it's a thing, especially with the pandemic. I feel like everybody's struggling right now with everything. So I'm so proud of you for finding that new job.
Oh yeah, thank you. It was a struggle.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 months of unemployment.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
I will say, this is like a fuck you to the company I used to work for, but like they've been gradually laying people off this entire year. So like when I joined the company, they were 50 people. They're now down to 20.
Wow, that's not cool. My gosh.
Yeah, they laid off content anyway. Fuck them.
Yeah, but it's a blessing that you're not there. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
I love Amber's personality, man.
Let's see.
It's really truly for online. Offline, I am just a gremlin.
We'll see what we can dive into.
Yeah.
Let's do a funner one. And we've talked a lot about D&D in general, but like, what are some of your favorite systems outside of D&D? Because there's a million of them now that I've discovered in the last 6 or so months.
That's a really good question.
Off the top of my head, I can just name a bunch. My absolute drop dead favorite tabletop game ever is Visigoths versus Molgoths, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a very, like, it's powered by the apocalypse, but then it's even lighter, if you can believe it. Powered by the Apocalypse, for those listening at home, is a very simple tabletop system that uses 2d6, and then you just, like, based on whatever skill you have, you add a modifier, so you roll the 2d6 and add that modifier.
Yeah, it's a base for like a million games. Like City of Mist that we're in is also technically powered by Apocalypse, even though it's wildly different with some themes.
But Visigoths versus Mongoths advertises itself as a tabletop role-playing game and dating sim, and it takes place in 1996 LA, entirely contained within a mall, and there's 2 warring factions. There is the Visigoths. They have been transported actually from pre-Rome to LA, and some of them are still glowing from the ritual, and they are here to take over and do what Visigoths do. And then there's also the Moggoths, who live there. They're from there, and they don't know why the other goths are there, but they have to contend with them. And so it's like it's really cute and cozy, and you can and goofy. It's a big homage to like the 90s, and like you can flirt with all of the NPCs in the mall or each other. So yeah, I think by the time this airs, actually, like the premiere, like I actually today, the day we're recording, I talked to I finalized dates for a stream I'm doing, a whole series.
Nice.
So I'm doing Visigoths versus Mongoths, starting in February.
Nice.
On Bad House.
You're gonna be busy in February.
Oh my god, you should see my schedule. I'm packed. So, but yeah, other than Visigoths versus Morgoths, I mean, like, Bluebeard's Bride is so fucked up. Have you ever played that too?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed. It's another Powered by the Apocalypse game. Wow. But instead of everyone like having their own character,
Mm-hmm.
you are all essentially sharing, like you're co-piloting like the bride, the titular Bluebeard's bride, and you're playing different aspects of her personality, and like you can like take it changes like control and like
So is it
different
like an
aspects of
inside out situation?
yeah, actually, yes.
That's
Like all
awesome.
of the little personality traits like talk to each other, but also they every like personality has different skills that they get and how they interact with like the mansion of Bluebeard's
Mm-hmm.
like and like all of the horrors that are within. It's super fucked up. It's great because it's based off of like the fairy tale Bluebeard's Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And one other tabletop game for a nice round three. Um, um, I've really been into Pathfinder lately.
I
Pathfinder's
Oh.
I
great.
just played it for the first time, uh, like the 9th of December, because this is airing later in the month. I did a one shot. It was a Jasper's Game Day one shot that PJ ran that I donated to be in, and it was amazing. I made a little ice snow goblin girl who was chaotic as hell.
Oh,
Nice.
It was so much fun.
yeah, I've been playing so much Pathfinder lately because of the folks on Lost Caravan, like
Hmm.
they pulled me in to play a ton of Pathfinder. I'm like, fuck yeah, let me play Pathfinder with you. So oh, wait, I'm playing Pathfinder tomorrow. Fuck, I need to make my character. Shit, I'm
Oof, you
shit.
haven't made your
Fuck, pass.
character?
No.
Nice.
That's a process for Pathfinder. Like that's a whole thing. I had to buy the Path Builder thing to make my character for the one shot because that shit's so
Hmm.
involved.
Path Builder's free. What the fuck do you mean you had to buy Path Builder?
I had to buy it to like save character sheets or some shit like that. I forget what it was.
No, you don't.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure it came up on mine that I had to like did it.
Really?
Okay.
I never
Mm,
played, so I don't even know what it is.
Oh, no, Path Builder's like, do you know what D&D Beyond is?
Yes.
Okay, it's like that, but for Pathfinder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
and it really
cool.
demystifies building a character in Pathfinder.
yeah, because
And
I was doing that like by hand on Roll20 that in a game I made, and it was so bad. I
oh,
messed up like I didn't mess up a lot, unfortunately. When I transferred it over, but I was like a
yeah.
couple like minor things here and there that I had to like adjust and stuff.
I think Demiplane RPG is actually building like a character creator for Pathfinder right
Mm.
now. So I'm really
Nice.
excited to see that.
Yeah, I just typically use
That's
Roll20 for
exciting.
everything just because I like that's what I'm trained on. But then I just like use PDFs and stuff for games that don't really mesh well with it because I'm
Yeah,
not as like anal about people rolling in game as opposed to rolling dice anymore anyway. So if you're
yeah,
gonna cheat at tabletop, then like I mean if that's what you gotta do to have fun, I guess. There's other ways I can kill you if
Yeah,
you're fudging rolls.
right. Exactly. Like
that's true.
you don't got. I was in a battle royale last night actually,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
and
you survived.
I made it to. I was top three
Top three,
Wow,
nice.
in
that's really good.
top three in
That's awesome.
a party of 19.
Yeah, I think the last
Wow.
update I saw is you were top 8, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was wild
I
to
bet
say the least.
19
But
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
bless
that's amazing.
Sam,
Top three.
bless Sam from Spontaneum and for doing that because I know he was anxious. He's been anxious like all week setting that up, and he crushed it. But
Yeah, that's insane.
yeah,
Oh, let's
next
see.
question.
I think we can probably fit one more in.
Oh wow,
We've
I didn't
gotten so
realize we were
far.
that long.
We're just gonna have you on for another episode. Is just what it's gonna have to
That's
be.
literally what we
Uh,
told my other two friends too.
Have to have a reappearance.
See, if you like talking like me, it's okay to have you on for another episode. So you got to come on for another episode.
Okay.
all right,
We've
pull
we've
my
we've
leg.
touched on neurodivergency a bit in here. So how about just any Any advice for playing or running games when you're neurodivergent? I know like you like to crotch it during some games and do other little stuff.
Crotchet.
Whatever
I
the
knit.
knit. Okay, sorry, I don't know the
It's
difference.
crochet. Is that what you were trying to say?
See, I
Yeah.
don't know any of this shit, okay? I
My
just
mom
I just know
crochets
because
all the
I've
time.
literally seen them do it in City of Mist while we've been playing.
My
All
mom
right.
makes amazing things. Sorry, that's all I had to say.
Well, okay. Crocheting, Pluto uses a little hook like this, and it just has one loop, and you like, I can't get the movement of crocheting right, even though I have all the shit. So crocheting uses one hook, knitting uses two needles, and all of the
Gotcha.
loops, all of the stitches
Yep.
are, yeah. Anyway,
Even
no,
I don't do it, and I know that, babe.
Well, your mom does it though. So
Facts.
well, it was something I picked up in college to actually help me focus in class.
that's fair.
That's
Because
cool.
which, yeah, like amazing. Like, well, so as somebody with compounding neurodivergencies, like it's just something like if my hands are idle, I feel like I can't pay attention. Like I feel like I need to like occupy them, so I'll like have a worry stone that I kind of keep off, or knitting at least help is productive, and I can have a thing eventually. But yeah, I mean, everyone's like manifests differently, so I can't say what works for me is going to work for everybody,
Hmm.
but I know plenty of people that like have picked up just a random craft, and like that's what's really helped them out. Like even doodling, I've known people to like get really into like that Zentangle whatever, while which is I guess a style of doodling, from just to help them focus on games. And I think like there's also like, like the more people do it and talk openly about it, the more like it destigmatizes the fact that the majority of the population probably does have some, touch of neurodivergency, and we're not as divergent as we think we are, you know. So I think it helped, the more we talk about it and the more we like open up the conversation and like actively talk about like how we are having, issues fitting in with certain aspects of society, the more that we can make it, this a more inclusive and open society for all people.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, like I need to start broaching the topic at work to be like, hey, actually, this is like a diagnosed thing that I have, and this is a way that I need to treat it and keep myself focused on calls as if I like am knitting, and like don't mind me if I'm like my hands are moving below the camera. I'm not doing anything weird. Um so
See, I would have never
yeah.
guessed that you had like any of that. Like in my mind, I would have never guessed it. Like, and there's nothing
Oh my
wrong with it.
god.
I'm not, but I just would have never guessed. Like for him, for instance, or them, for instance, with Justin or Pluto, it's like they have to do multiple things at once. And like sometimes they'll be on their phone, and we used to kind of, I didn't know they had that, but we used to kind of get in, like, they didn't know either, but we used to kind of get in a little bit of like arguments. Cause like if I'm watching TV with them, I could stay focused on the TV, like just watching it, just doing one thing. And they're like, no, I got to be doing other things. And I'm like, but why? It's like,
I'll be reading a full on fan
I
fiction
didn't
and
understand
watching the
that.
TV show at the same
But
time and
see,
following both
Well,
like at the same
like just
time.
now when I was painting my nails, that's doing something and keeping myself
Yeah,
engaged and
I
invested.
took
yeah.
this off my last words like key card badge, and it's like the perfect fit. It has like a pull thing on it. I have a little button to play with.
See,
I've just been messing with this like all the time now at my desk since I took it off the card.
yeah. And it's good. It's good for more people to know about that because, like, someone like me, like, I can only do like one thing at a time. Like, I don't have, you know what I mean? Because I don't have
I'm so
Hmm.
that.
jealous.
But see, I'm jealous of you guys because, like, I have to sit there and like focus
See,
on the show.
the
It's like
thing
I
though,
can't.
being able to focus on multiple things at once is good, but like when you need one specific thing done and you can't get that hyperfixation to
See, and
kick
I've
in,
never.
that's when it's bad.
Yeah.
Like I can get
Does that happen a
productive
lot?
time.
Like
It's like
that
it's
some.
either I lock in on something and I blink and 3 or 4 hours have gone by, or I have to literally try to force myself to get it done. Like even
Yeah.
right now, I have like 10 tabs open on
But see, I want to
Google.
learn more about that so I can, you know what I mean, be empathetic to that when people are going through that because it's like I don't know about this. So I love that you guys are
You know
like
what?
explaining that.
go look up hashtag neurospicy on TikTok, and
Yeah.
that's no, I'm dead serious. Like that's a tag that's being used by neuroatypicals, so that to talk about their experiences openly, and it's like actually helped me find a little bit of community and camaraderie, because like I recently got diagnosed, well, not diagnosed, I recently got re-diagnosed this year,
Mhm.
um and because I was diagnosed as a kid, and then my dad is an anti-vaxxer and is an asshole and was like, "Oh no, the vaccines cause this. This isn't real. Don't take your medicine." Blah, blah." And so, like, you know, yeah. So, like, by the time college rolled around, he like completely pulled me off my medicine and everything, and I
Oh my gosh.
tanked.
Oh no.
Oof.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Wow.
all right. Fuck my dad.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, like, so I went through adulthood like not, being like, "Oh my God, nothing makes sense. Everything made sense in high school. What is happening?" Um, sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
getting
my
over this
gosh.
cold.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, so like I've got re-diagnosed this year, and then the ADHD medication shortage happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
See.
still can't get my pills because I am waiting on
Oh
my new health insurance
no.
to kick in. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm
And
waiting
like,
for new health insurance, the new job kicking because I want to get diagnosed because I've only tried doing it once before, and like being very like old fashioned Canton is, like therapy up there is hard to find, and the one I did find, like the people around me were not, they weren't like doubt dissonant, but they also weren't very encouraging through the whole process.
Yeah.
So when
yeah.
I first thing of meds ran out for my anxiety, I just like never
Yeah.
went back and filled them up. So I was like, "Nah, I don't want to go through the hassle of having to go back and then like explain it to all these people." And then it just fell off for a while. And then like I think playing around so many people in the space says I feel like a lot of people in this space have neurodivergence, at least at some point. We put pretty in depth on the few stuff that we talked about, which is why I left the question so open ended as I did, because I figured I
Yeah.
would do that. Um,
Yeah. That's
but
very
awesome.
true.
So I think then Amber, if you want to plug anything, I just realized that I think we can talk about the end of February because we have the casting call open.
Oh yeah, I mean like the casting call for Monster Hearts closes in 9 days.
Yeah, it closes next
So
week, as of the day this was recorded. Yeah, so by the time
Oh,
this
that's
is up, we'll
cool.
have the cast already ready for it. So
yeah, and promos will be starting to go out.
yeah,
Are
so
you
yeah,
guys gonna do
if
like
you want to
digital
talk
art and
about
stuff
that,
for it too?
that is Bree's domain. Bree does all
Yeah,
that stuff for
I
TIO.
am exceptionally bad at graphic design.
I am too.
So
That's okay. That's okay.
um so all right, what do you want me to do?
Go
Sorry.
ahead and plug anything you want to plug. Besides, you have the season finale of City of Mist the week after this
Yep.
airs, and then anything after that you want to plug as well.
Holy shit. 2023 is literally fixing to be year of Amber. I'm not
I
joking.
love that.
So I am Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. Anywhere there's internet, that's the Space Jamber, like the 90s movie mashed up with my name. Um, you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Twitch, TikTok, wherever. I am also a TTRPG writer, editor for hire. If you have a TTRPG book or you would like somebody to write for you that or somebody to edit your stuff, you can find me my website thespacejamber.cool, as in the opposite of
Nice.
warm. You can find me and my portfolio there. Things that are coming up for me in January, and I guess I'll do February too now that I have that calendar freaking finalized. January 5th is the finale for City of Mist over on the Initiative Order. That is the game that I am playing currently with Pluto.
January
Um
19th, the finale.
oh, January 19th is finale.
Fifth,
Oh, sick.
fifth, and 19th are last two episodes, but all good.
Okay, sick. I just put that on my calendar so that I know.
Yep,
Okay,
fifth is the
wonderful.
penultimate, 19th's the finale. All good.
Okay. Oh, because we pushed it
Yeah, we
back.
pushed
Got
it
it.
back. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. I'm literally going. So and then Tuesdays. I'm starting. Tuesdays. Starting January 3rd. I am restarting TTRPG Study Hall. That is my cozy collaborative co-working stream where I get together and work on all of my various TTRPG projects, including DuPont Underground, which is my Vampire the Masquerade campaign that I'm running on Girls Run These Worlds, starting January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern. I am running that with a whole cohort of very talented players. It is an all femme table playing Vampire the Masquerade based in DC. What else? Holy shit. Fuck. What can I talk about? That's not been announced yet. Okay, hold on. Okay, the other thing that hasn't officially been announced, but we will. I'm running a Monster Hearts game on the initiative order, actually starting Thursday, February 2nd. That is going to be inspired by my favorite television show growing up, Danny Phantom, baby.
I love Danny
Hell
Phantom.
I'm
yeah!
so excited. We didn't totally make a private chat, the two of us and another friend, just to talk about Danny Phantom at all or anything.
And that's what
That's
inspired me to do the
awesome.
game. It's
That's so
literally
cool. Danny Phantom is so cool.
It is
yeah, Danny
awesome.
Phantom. Yeah, that was yeah. I could go for hours just on Danny Phantom, but yeah. So lots of stuff. I like literally my
Exciting.
entire February is booked, and I'm starting to book into March now.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's literally where I'm at. I got my Starfinder campaign starting in January. It's gonna be about 15, 20 episodes weekly. And
Nice.
then
Whoa.
finishing City of Mist. February, I'm in your Monster Hearts game that whole month. And then March, I have two games that are gonna be on rotating Tuesdays on TIO and Open
Damn.
Circuit Studios that I'm finalizing the details for. So, and I might be in a TIO game that I'm waiting to hear on Casting Call for like the Friday that
Nice.
this is recorded. So if I get into that, I'll have that every Monday for
Hell
like 30
yeah.
weeks. If not,
Nice.
I
30?
might. Yes, it's 24 to
30
30
weeks?
episodes. It's a long.
Jesus.
It's my longest campaign as a player that I've ever been
Wow.
in. I usually
That's a
play in
long
one shots
time.
because I run so much shit that when I get to play, it's just like a one off. This is gonna be wild for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then
30.
if that doesn't go through, then I have a backup campaign that I'm gonna run on another channel. So we'll see if I get into that or not first. But yeah, it's
Good
a lot of
God.
stuff. I'm right there with you. It's a busy front-loaded
Same.
year.
Yep.
Yeah. There's like, oh my God, I have like two other channels I need to finalize stuff for. And then Girls Run These Worlds wants to do another game with me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be Year of the Amber, bitch. All right, sorry.
Yes, oh yes, I will. Well, is Amber still? I don't want to bother them. Are you still promoting Amber?
I think Amber covered the majority of what they have.
I covered everything that I can talk about.
There you go.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's you're the special guest. So
No, I'm gonna take a
I'm
big
right there with you. I still have
all.
to finalize all this in my planner. This is just from my head that I need to actually write all this down so I don't forget it.
Oh
So
yeah, hold on. Like literally, I have it all in my. This is just March. Well, this is March, but
nice,
like literally, my February filled up my
nice.
January.
nice.
It is a
I have
problem.
my actual
So
planner, so I remember stuff. So I write it down,
I
I'll
should
remember
probably
it.
make a
But I need to
planner.
start actually using it again. I've not used it the last month, and I'm starting to be all over the place again. So
Yeah, I should probably make a planner. I just remember everything in my head, but like if I had a planner, it'd
I
probably
don't.
be
I
more
can't do that
I
shit.
will literally forget. I had a
I
game. I
can't
have a
do that
game
shit. No,
tomorrow, a
fuck
community
you.
game in TIO, and I didn't even remember about it till
It
today.
doesn't. It's not good, Amber. I'm disorganized. That's not a good thing. But no, okay. I'm gonna plug my stuff now since Pluto told me to, and Amber's is done plugging. So all of my social media guys is just being Jin. That's on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram as well. I have some really fun Christmas gifts coming up with some of my friends on TikTok that we're doing together. Actually just got a new camera that I'm excited about. I'm gonna start filming my content with that instead of my phone. So I'm making a bunch of short films I'm gonna come up with. New acting challenges every day, as you guys know that do watch my TikTok. And yeah, that's basically what I got going on right now. I may create very soon a group on my TikTok, like open up a group like maybe like 20 members on a Zoom channel once a week. We all get together, have a free fun acting class. I think that would be fun to do. But yeah, that's all I got going on at the moment. That's on social media wise, at least. So yeah. Oh, and I just auditioned for Big Brother, so wish me luck with that.
Whoa.
That would be dope.
Wild.
I love how I added that at the very end.
Sneak it in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm
hopefully,
excited about
hopefully you get that.
I would love that.
But yeah,
I'd be so
I
happy.
think that is everything we had to talk about. Amber, thanks for joining us, and we'll definitely have to have you back for another episode in the future.
Amber's
Yeah.
amazing. I love their personality. You guys should follow Amber on all of their socials
Yes,
and support them.
everywhere.
Yes.
And come watch me wrap up their character in our City of Mist game that's been like 80% novella, like soap
Hell
opera
yeah.
type shit at this
That's,
point.
that's the good shit. That's the good shit.
Hey, but
And
it's
I love.
no,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna wrap it up, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say what I really liked about today's podcast episode too is the just like getting deep into conversations that not a lot of people have. I think it's so important to show people that everybody's human and everybody goes through things. And it's mental health again, as I've said this on my Instagram earlier, and I know I keep talking about this today, is so important, guys. Please prioritize your mental health first. Because it's so important. It really is. And sometimes we don't focus on it, but and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like mental health is so important. So please just prioritize
Yep.
that.
After
We all
this,
need
I'm gonna go decompress and trade some Pokemon and watch Dimension 20 the rest of the night, and then watch some Christmas movies with Ginny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
okay,
I
but
gotta make a Pathfinder character.
good luck with that.
Yeah, you waited until the last minute.
Maybe I'll just rehash one from another campaign. It's fine.
There you go.
Okay, but this has been the Gainer Gossip. We will see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye guys. Always keeping it real in the Gainer Gossip.